try to live that obedience right now. I want to speak to the gospel we had before we processed in. Go into the village opposite you, and as you enter it, you will find a colt tethered, on which no one has ever sat. Untie it and bring it here, and if anyone should ask you, why are you untying it? You will answer, the master has need of it. Think about that. That colt was nothing special, right? It was there just tied up. It was motionless. It was alone. It was without a direction, without a purpose. It was unseen, undesired, unused. And yet it was that very colt specifically that Christ imagined, that he foresaw, and he sent his apostles to go and unbind, to set free, for the greatest purpose of any colt in the history of man, to bear the Son of God in triumphal victory into Jerusalem before his passion and death. I was thinking about that colt a lot this past week because I went home for the first time to celebrate Mass in my home parish where I was raised in the faith, and I haven't been back there really for anything like that in 20 years about. And at one point somebody came up to me and they said, God has really done a work on you. And I had no idea if they were giving me a compliment or a criticism. They were saying it's great what you are now, or I can't believe how far you've come from what you were back then. And it was such a meditation for me to be back there as an active priest, walking around my house, which was on the same block as the church, the schools I grew up walking to, some friends' houses, all the memories of those times. And it was just so clear to me that I was that colt. And I was bound up by so many things in my life, from friendships with people that were definitely not bringing me towards a better person, ideas about myself and about my life that were actually keeping me from growing, constraining me. Ideas about where my life should go, what ideas about my family and about people. All these things were keeping me tied in place. And going back there as a priest, now almost 20 years since I left, I was so overcome with gratitude, realizing that every incredible gift that I've received in my life over this time is because of that call to carry Christ in my life as a priest. And I think every single one of us is that colt. Every single one of us has a before and after Christ. And in one way or another, we find ourselves tethered. Sometimes it's to false ideas about ourselves, about our life, so we refuse to change. Just this is what it is. Sometimes we're tethered by addictions, by sins, to things or to toxic relationships that we just keep replaying over and over again that keep us from ever really growing. And sometimes we're just tethered to a reluctance to grow and to change, to heed the voice of Christ, the call of the church, to change how I live my life, to make Jesus Christ the most important aspect of my life. I invite us as we go into this Holy Week, and specifically in this Mass, ask the Lord to send his angels to you, just as he sent the apostles to this donkey. And ask the question very honestly before him, what is keeping me tethered from following you more fully? What do I need to be unbound from in my life by your church, by confession, by the sacraments? What needs to be healed in me so that I can accept the freedom that you're offering me to hear your call and allow myself to begin this journey? Because the thing is, that colt had no idea who Jesus was and what it was going to be used for or where it was going. And maybe that's the whole mystery of our journey in life. We don't know where it's going to lead. But when we know it is Christ himself who is calling us, and it is Christ himself whom we will bear, then that's all we need to know to allow ourselves to be freed from whatever's tethering us in the present moment for the purpose of his glory.